All right, come on in. Welcome, everyone. Doris, Larissa, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Melissa, hola, Melissa, how are you? Good to see you. Dr. Karen Jackson Weaver, thank you all so much for joining us. I'm excited to see you all keep coming in here. I am here with my dear friend, my sister, Karen Taylor Bass. Karen, thank you so much for being here with us tonight on the Wind Down.
Hello, Elayne. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Good. I have to raise a glass. Everybody, if you have your glass before it, look, my nail, first of
Oh,
all,
girl,
this is
please.
real
Mine is.
quarantine.
Stephanie
Quarantine
did
life.
my nails yesterday, and they're all spotty and crazy.
I
So thank
know. Cheers
you. Cheers.
to girlfriends, to health, to wellness, to staying together, staying connected, right? To all
Yes.
those good things. So all of you, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Super excited to tell you about Karen and to get into this, whatever that space is. That's what I'm
Oh,
trying to get into tonight, that space. So a little bit about Karen before we get started. So Karen, who again I've known for how many, I don't know, 20 something, I think, Karen
over
years
20
now.
plus. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, since from our entertainment industry days. But Karen Taylor Bass is an award-winning public relations expert, speaker, author, and certified yoga teacher and meditation coach. She has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, Sirius XM, Network Journal, and on Dr. Oz. Before yoga, Karen says that her life was a constant hustle, a never-ending treadmill. Yoga saved her 10 years ago after having her daughter, Sophie, at 40, and suffering from complications and ultimately postpartum depression. Karen says, yoga doesn't offer a quick fix. It simply requires the person to commit to self, to breathe, to explore, and unlock what is holding them back. So again, Karen, thank you so much for being here with us.
Absolutely. I'm so honored. Thank you. And I see that we have the ruby red lipstick happening. What?
Yes, we do. Quarantine lip, look a little red, give a little spice for quarantine. Exactly. Gotta do something to zhuzh it up a little bit, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So when it comes to yoga, I mean, as I mentioned, you and I have known each other for a long time from the entertainment industry. We've spoken several times on the podcast. I just love you, your story, your energy, and everything. But I'm interested in this transition for you from, well, maybe not a transition. I guess it was more, well, you let us know, was it adding yoga to your life as it is now, or was it, do you feel like you transitioned in some ways into this space as someone who is now into yoga? What is it that really drew you to yoga?
Mm. So I think you mentioned having pregnancy complications and having postpartum, and I needed something to reset. Battling the depression and the anxiety, I knew that I didn't want to do medication, which is fine if that's what you need, but I didn't want to. And so a friend of mine told me to do yoga. And I started with Bikram, was my first really foray. But I think back, funny, Tracy McGregor, I'm not sure if you know Tracy from the music
Yeah.
industry, the writer,
Mm-hmm.
now filmmaker. Her and I took a yoga class back in the 19 something. All right. So I'm going to say like 1994. And it was a little place in the East Village. And we were like, are we supposed to feel this way? We really weren't certain because we felt like our bodies were kind of not in alignment with everyone else's body. Everyone else was very Eurocentric, and we felt like, oh, maybe we're doing the downward dog wrong and so forth. So we talked about that. I was like, oh, that yoga is not for us. And we moved on. And so when I started with Bikram, it was the same thing, but the whole premise of Bikram that was great for me going through postpartum is you have to commit to being in that room for 90 minutes. And if you could commit to yourself for 90 minutes, you can build upon that. And so that's why it was really instrumental for me to getting healed or holistic, being a whole person again. And so I love yoga. And I said, the minute I find a studio that represents me as a Black woman, a woman of color, a woman with a curvy body, I am going to become certified. And my daughter is going to be 13 in June. It took me 13 years to find this place. And when I found it, I was like, sign me up. Where do I pay? All of that. And it's Daya Yoga Studio. And that is when I knew that it was time to become a fully licensed yoga instructor and meditation coach. I had tried before other places, and they would say, oh, we don't have enough people. So, timing is everything, but I can't see my life any other way now.
Now, how did you end up finding this place? Was it just discovering or just searching, I should say, and then finally discovering the ideal studio?
Great, great question, Elayne. That's why you're fabulous. So I was at a mom's potluck, which we do often, pre-quarantine, of course. And one of the moms said, I got a Groupon for the studio. It's a Black-owned studio. It's in our neighborhood. We should support it. And I said, And so I'm Jamaican. So I looked at it and it's called Dea. And Dea in Patois means I'm right here. Just like when you do yoga, you stay right here. So I was like, that's really interesting. So I bought I brought the Groupon and never used it for like 2 months. And I said, why am I not using this? And so one day I just said, okay, let me just go in it. And I went in and it was the epiphany of life. I was like, where have you been? The pictures on the wall were beautiful Black women. There were families. I saw my brown sisters. It was just amazing. And the classes, and I was sold. And I said, I want to embody that. And Cinta Shea is her name, the owner and my master yogi and mentor. One of the things she always said to her class was that I see you. You're an individual. And oftentimes when you go to a Eurocentric, and there's nothing wrong with that studio, you're often not seen as a person of color because we are different. Our alignment may be the same, but our bodies are different. So, if you feel that when you do a downward dog and your posterior is all the way in the air, you feel some kind of way like, oh. But when you're in a loving and kind space and you see the beautiful bodies, you begin to feel like, oh, it's okay to let this go. So it was a journey, but I'm so glad that I waited for the right place to welcome me.
That's beautiful. And where is it located? Is it in Long Island?
It's in Queens. I live in Long Island, but it's in Queens and Laurelton. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everyone, even if you can't get to that one in Queens, Karen is going to take us through some movements and things today, but you'll be able to look for that. I just wanted to hear you. Thank you for sharing how you found that space. So for any one of us who are searching for, whether it's yoga or anything where you want to feel just exactly what you described about feeling, it sounds like you felt at home in that space.
Yes. I felt at home. I felt wanted. And I think that's important, right? As we heal, as we grow as women, as men, as people, you always want to feel wanted and accepted. And I think that's why in the Black community, yoga is something that is often misunderstood because it's not marketed toward us or for us, When you see the yoga attire, it's someone that's a size 2, and that's great also. But, the spectrum needs love also. And so I feel like sometimes as Black folks, we stay away from yoga because we don't think that people see us. And I'm here to tell you, we see you. We see you.
So how do you, in class, how do you let the individuals who attend your classes that you now offer, how do you let them know that you see them? How can we feel seen?
Oh, well, first of all, I can't see anyone. Can we make them that we can see them? Or
some people probably aren't on camera. Yeah.
Okay. So what I do is, first thing is, when they come in on the mat, I greet them. And when we do our asanas, which are postures, we touch, right? Not in everything, but there's a point in my practice when I ask them to mirror or face one another. And you have to understand that oftentimes, I always tell my class that may be the only time that person is seen or touched. And so whether it's hands touch, whether it's back to back, I want them to feel that connection, that energy. And so that's how they're seen, and I see them. And when they're on the mat doing the asanas, I make sure that whether it's an essential oil, I always ask them, is it okay if I touch you? Because not everyone wants to be touched, right? So once they give me permission to touch them, I make sure that they feel my hands. And my hands are loving and they're kind and they're able to feel the warmth that, from my hands. I also make sure the music that I play, it's curated for us. It's soulful music. So my yoga and how I was taught is it takes us on a journey. So it's from India. It's from Africa. It's from the Caribbean. And then it has sprinkles of Western culture. So you're being felt and you're being heard and you're being seen. And then we do this amazing prayer circle where we hold hands. And when you come in a circle is completion. So if you have something on your heart or something that you want to, ask us to conjure up for you or pray for you or to help you release it. I've had people cry in my circle or laugh. We are able to hold that space for them where they can feel joy or they can just release toxins. And that's how we also see them, but we see them as a community, as a family. And, it's so warm that as I think about it, because I've been doing a lot of virtual classes since, COVID, I haven't been able to see my students in person, but when we connect on Zoom, it's still beautiful. But I'm just thinking about how we go through the full spectrum of being seen, being felt, being heard. And you have to understand, for many of us, 1 in 3 have been impacted by PTSD. So, trauma lives in so many different ways. And sometimes it may live in your ankle. It may live in your arm, where you have not a great range of motion because you're carrying something. And movement and breath work allows you to identify what that is. And that is the beauty of yoga, why it's gorgeous. And it's like a symphony because you're able to move to that beat, which is your beat. But when you feel something that doesn't feel in alignment with your body, you're able to place your hand on it and just inhale and exhale and just feel the rhythm of your body, just letting things go when you allow yourself to go. And so as you can see, I just get so excited.
I know. I'm just like, go, go, go. I'll drink to that. I love it. I love it. And I think, thank you for mentioning actually PTSD because of, that is not only, and most people know now, but we should mention that isn't just from people who have been at war or who have been in the service. PTSD can come from all kinds of experiences. And most of us, after you've lived a few years, have endured some kind of trauma, different levels, of course, right? But some kind of trauma. So for everyone listening to realize that too.
When I learned that 1 in 3, just think about your friends, 1, 2, 3, that's real. Right. I mean, and like you said, it's not what we thought it was, just coming home from war or being in a violent attack. It's living and breathing. It's going through COVID-19.
Right. And that's the thing too. Robin Stone, who I spoke to, and I think she might have been the first one of these conversations, who's a psychologist, and she's the first person who said to me, the uncertainty of everything that's happening now is part of this trauma. And it made so much sense to me once, because everyone's having, not everyone, but a lot of us are experiencing anxiety. I know I am, or it's just the whole thing is the uncertainty. We don't know when it's going to end, what's going to happen, how do we get over it? So that is an example of trauma. And we will all have PTSD from this.
And our children, right, will have it also. And so, I'm very cognizant of having my daughter on the mat, having her teach me. Because sometimes you're able to, and she's been a part of my whole, evolution as a yoga instructor, yoga student. So when I hear her teach me her teacher's voice, it's really interesting what children will say to focus on, and they pick up from your cues, but then they add their own secret sauce to it. So it's also great when you involve children to allow them to express themselves by giving you cues. And if they're giving it to you, that means they also need it themselves,
Is that something that you would advise that the women, and maybe a few good men are on here, we love having the men too, is that something that you would advise that people consider maybe as the way to sort of get recentered or feel grounded during this time, is to talk to their children or maybe have their children experience yoga as well? Maybe it's something they can do together.
Absolutely. And even if it's just breathing together, right? So on family night, you can, we have set up theme nights. So, there's, of course, Taco Tuesday we do Family Fridays, and then there's a Sunday. And sometimes it's early in the morning, with online learning, remote learning, where before you're sitting all day. So you get together in a circle or wherever, you put the mat any place or a towel or a sheet, whatever. And you just get on the mat and you just you could be in starfish. You can be in any position that's comfortable and just close your eyes and teach them just to relax, because they're on such high energy and they don't know where to place all this energy. Like we don't know how to place it. So if you just have them breathe, but also hold their hands and look them in the eye and let them know it's going to be okay. And that you're scared and I'm scared. It's okay to be scared. We're trying to navigate this. And they'll allow you to be vulnerable because you're allowing them to be vulnerable. And so I definitely recommend that families, parents, guardians, loved ones, just connect. And that is what yoga is. It's mind, body, and soul connection. So connect with the people you love and just let them know, feel me, feel my heart, put your hand right here. You know, if this is too much, you know, put it right here or put it right here and just feel me, touch heals.
And it's so interesting during the times that you and I started talking before this, that we're in this time where touch, connection, being around each other is something that we're all craving right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of us probably didn't realize how much we need it.
Yeah. It's so fun. Yeah, because, you know, as my PR is also my main job. And, you know, with COVID-19, I've been doing zero PR and all yoga, and the market dictates what it needs. And I'm so fortunate that I have the skill set where I'm able to also work with frontline workers and so forth. And last week with schools for their Wellness Wednesday, young kids who, you know, are able to just be and let it all out and laugh and all the other kind of stuff. And so, you know, you never know where the universe is going to take you on your path. And if you had told me that this would be something that I would be doing as a career job during the pandemic, I'd be like, stop. But yeah, I am. And it's bringing me joy, because you don't know what your purpose is until you decide to get uncomfortable. And this for me was uncomfortable.
Yes, and you're so amazing at it. I mean, I haven't even taken one of your classes yet. I can't wait to do some things tonight.
I can't wait for you too when you come to New York.
I know, but just your spirit, you know how I think we talked about it before, just you can hear it. Hopefully you all can sense it too. You can hear it and you can feel it actually from you, how much this means to you to be able to do this. And I'm glad to hear that you're working with frontline workers. I just saw a report on the news where they were showing some hospitals now doing a mental wellness break where they're doing yoga in between, doing yoga moves or just even stretching and just doing a check-in, because again, everyone is affected by this, and certainly those folks who are seeing it every day.
And seniors, you know, our seniors need it. I do a lot of chair. Our children on the spectrum. I, you know, work with kids with ASD. They need it. We all need it, especially Black and brown people. We need it, you know, from the minute we get up, we are on high alert. So just to take that moment, we are essential workers. We are essential. So when do we come down from all of this? And if I'm able to just allow someone to just breathe and show them, you know, inhalation, exhalation, and it helps. Or someone tells me I had tightness in my leg and you know, I didn't have it last night, or this hurt and it doesn't hurt any longer. I feel amazing when I hear those things, because I remember when I was on the mat, and I'm still on the mat, because once a yogi, you're always a student and a teacher, because you always want to get better. But when you hear that from them, it just reconfirms or reaffirms that I'm in the right business.
And what role would you say that meditation plays in all of this as well? Do meditation and yoga go together, at least for you, or should it for all of us?
I think they're in tandem. You know, they're lovers, definitely.
They're lovers. I love it.
Definitely, you know, they need each other. And without breath, you have nothing. And that's your meditation. So I would say meditation more important than anything. It's the breath that allows you to move. So if you're in a posture and you feel tightness, you know, if you're sitting back in a chair and you're, you know, you feel tension, or you're not all the way back and you can't firmly put your feet on the ground, then I will tell my student, I'll tell you, just if you're on a chair, just come a little bit, right? Come out a little bit off the chair. So you're not at the edge, but you're not in the middle, and have your feet firmly planted on the floor. Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, so now your spine is erect. Have your spine straight. Soften your shoulder. Take your left hand and place it on your heart space, your heart chakra. Your right hand.
Everyone do this with Karen.
Huh?
I was telling everyone, do this with Karen. You
Do
all
this
come
with
to the
me,
edge of your
please.
chairs.
Yes.
Yes, put your feet on the floor,
All
left hand on
firmly
your
on the
heart.
floor so you could feel the soul. You could feel earth. That's what you want to do. So if you have socks on, and I have socks, I'm taking mine off now. So if
Me
you have
too.
socks on, take your socks off, right? You just want
You're
to.
like me. You sit in the house with your socks on.
I'm Caribbean.
I'm
It's
just-
on.
okay.
So now
Okay.
you could feel the earth under your feet. You feel it on the sole of your feet. So now you know you are alive and you feel that earthly connection, right? So you want to always sit erect because you want to make sure that you have a flow. Your body is flowing. You don't want anything to compromise anything. So erect posture. Now you can take your left hand, put it on your heart space. Your right hand is on your stomach, right? With that, just gently close your eyes, only if it feels good to you. And just feel your body right here. Just feel what that feels like. Just your breath. Now, inhale through your nose and watch your body rise. Watch your stomach rise. And now exhale through your nose. Do that with me again. Inhale through your nose. Hold it for 4 breaths here. This time, exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Release your hands, put them on your leg, on your thigh area, and you should feel a difference in your body. You should feel your central nervous system beginning to get the cues of, wait a minute, I have to calm down because she's calming down. Did you feel that, Elayne?
I felt like it felt like a quiet kind of came over everything.
Right. And
Everyone let us.
did it feel good?
Yes, it feels good. And when I breathe like that, which I, rarely, unfortunately do, unless I really think about it or something's going on, I'm like, I have to calm down, but you shouldn't do it always just in those moments, right? But then
Right.
I notice I feel sort of a lightheadedness in a good way, though. It's sort of like, oh, it feels clear.
And then you notice there's a difference. When you breathe through your nose, inhale, and then you exhale through your nose, do that. Your shoulder softens.
Right.
Now do
I
it.
noticed you did through the nose and then through the mouth.
So now do it through your nose. Inhale through your nose. And now breathe through your mouth like you're blowing out a birthday cake. Do you feel the difference?
Like
Yeah.
relax.
So
Yes.
you come down more. Yes. So there's so many ways you can breathe. You could breathe through your nose, of course, but you could exhale through your mouth, exhale through your nose. And you always want to find the rhythm for you. You can mix it up, but breath is intentional. So when you're sitting in the chair, because we are working from home, it's, remote working, remote learning, and you're on the computer and your shoulders are tight.
Right. You end up like this.
Right here, look, there's no circulation. Right here is blockage. So just release it with the inhale. Just release your shoulders, soften your shoulders. And then as you do that, take your chin and just gently inhale and exhale. Open your mouth to the ceiling. Inhale, come back. Chin to chest. And breathe through your nose. Inhale again. And this time, just open your mouth and your eyes. Release, bring your neck down, and just feel that. It feels different. You may even feel a little warmer now.
I actually felt that in the back of my neck when we went down and breathed.
So when you did this, right here, you're releasing.
Right.
It's a stretch in the back of your neck. It's a stretch because you're like this. So even if you're sitting on the chair, you could even do some cat cows, right? So once again, you're at the edge of your chair, firmly planted. Take your hands. If you have, you could place them right on your leg, on the thigh area. And then I want you to first inhale, bring your shoulders up, and then exhale down. This time, inhale. And you're going to, on your exhale, you're going to look to the floor, look between your legs. So inhale, and now exhale. Release your shoulders, arch your back. Inhale up now, straight up right here. Don't go back. This is your inhale. This is your exhale. Exhale audibly with a one more time. Inhale, like a cat. And then exhale. Come back up. Keep your left hand on your leg, and then inhale. One hand up, the right hand, and just come to one side for a little side stretch right here. Do you feel it?
Yes, this feels amazing.
Yeah, look
exactly what I needed.
Have your palms straight up. And look at your reflection right there. Look at your beauty right here. No tension, soften your shoulder. Drop that hand, come down, and bring the opposite hand up for a nice little stretch. Look at
my
your
hand
reflection.
straight toward the ceiling or facing me?
Straight to the ceiling. Okay. And look at your palm.
Look at
nice
you.
Little side stretch. Bring your hands together here, all the way up. Palms to touch, right here. And come over for a nice little back stretch right here. Palms are together. Soften your shoulder. Look down to the ground. And then come back up here and then just drop your shoulder with a exhale of a
Look how low I am now on the screen.
But how do you feel?
So relaxed. It's just like
feel good, right? And you're right in your chair.
Yes, I love that. This is perfect. Oh my goodness.
And you can also stand up. Stand up.
Okay. I'm glad I put pants on.
You have pants on, right?
Yeah, pants on.
So let me see if I could come back a little bit on my chair. You could see me. My computer's moving. Hold on one second. All right.
Everyone, while Karen's adjust, if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A. But
so you're standing now. I want you to just do a gentle bend in your knees. Put your hands on above your knee, and from here, just open. Just pretty much like just feel the earth on your feet, on the soles of your feet right here. So tap your feet like this. Move it. Just feel the tap, and then just. Right here, you can just inhale here. And then now your exhale, just look between your legs. You should have a nice back stretch here. Your back is like a tabletop. Right here.
Oh, so it should be flat?
Yeah, like a tabletop. Okay. So if you see my back, look.
Okay.
Right here.
I was doing an arch.
Yeah, right here. And then bend your knees now. You see, bend your knees.
Yes.
And then gently just come up on your toes. Gently right here.
Oh.
To activate. You may shake a little bit, you may not. On your exhale.
I am definitely shaking.
Huh?
I am definitely shaking.
You're shaking, so come down. Exhale, come down. And then straighten your knees, your legs. And then just take your hands and just drop them. And just sway side to side. And you're also still stretching with this. So just side to side, just like that. And then bring the palms together and gently come up. Just like this, and just open up like an airplane. Open up your legs. And this could be a starfish if you're on the floor, but you could also take this right here and just lunge side to side, just like that.
Oh, I'm loving this.
Yeah, side to side. As you inhale and exhale, make sure you engage your core. And then 2 more times with breath. And then just inhale, straighten your legs. You can bring your palms to touch. You can bring them overhead and then just drop them. Just drop them. And then just right here with your shoulder, if you can see me, just bring your shoulders up and let them down. Up, down. And then just, rotate them one at a time. Slowly as you inhale. And whatever you do, make sure you reverse it. And I always tell my class, because we have so much inflammation in our body, little things like moving your fingers, playing the piano, just play the piano like this. And you feel your joints. Loosen up your joints. You don't want arthritis or anything like that. And if you do, this is a great way. We do so much computer work and gadget work. So just do this, shake them out.
I swear to you, I'm not even kidding, Karen. My arms lately, my wrists and hands have been feeling so tight.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm standing here trying not to laugh.
So you can do
this.
this.
Is exactly what.
This. Move it around. Move the fascia around. Move it around. Connective tissues get stuck like everything else. So you move it around. You could move it. You do the legs like that. When you're in my class, we're doing that. We're soulful. We're moving everything around. We're moving. And that's what.
And that's good for circulation, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Elayne. I'm hoping everybody was able to do that with us and feel it. And
please, everybody, tell us, how did it feel? Yeah,
talk to us.
I know. I'm sorry you can't see everyone. I didn't even think of that you'd want to see everybody. If anybody wants to come on, let us know.
If you want, please come to camera. We could even do a little some yoga. If you have a mat or a chair, I'll pull back and get on my mat.
Yes, I love it. No, so I honestly, for everyone, like I said, I've been feeling tightness in my hands lately. I'm a woman of a certain age. So I'm like, maybe I'm just, and that's the thing too. What would you say, Karen? Sometimes I know I've done this, dismiss things as, oh, it's just because of age, or, oh, it's just because of I have bad knees, or I this. And it might be what you told us earlier, tension caused by stress or something else that we might need to be more aware of by getting more in touch or aligned with our bodies.
Yeah, so I remember when I was in teacher training and I had my ankles so much stiff. And certain asanas, when I did it, it was just like, why is it so tight? And I remember asking the instructor after the class, I was like, my ankles are so tight and so and so. And I remember the response was like, that's your trauma. Think about something that happened to you, maybe when you were a kid or as an adult, but we carry trauma in different places of our bodies. And my ankle, I have, my trauma in my legs. And so I had to stretch more, breathe more, do postures that were going to stretch out my legs, my ankles, the bottom of my feet, the soles of like all of that. And for women, our trauma is carried in our stomach. Our womb area is where we carry, so not the stomach, but more the womb area is where we have our trauma. So think about, when you have fibroids or different things like that. Trauma. And like we said, trauma shows up in different places. And so just be mindful of that. We do a lot of computer work, a lot of phone work. So make sure you're stretching out. You're doing all that other kind of stuff. Make sure that you are connected. Like we have a habit of when we're doing, at least I know I do, computer work, I may cross my legs, I may do this. Try to keep your feet rooted into the ground. So you can literally feel it and you can feel the sensation. That's also traction. But what that does is it really forces you to sit straight, sit erect, right? But when you're like this, you're comfortable. That's
what I do. I'm trying to stop doing that, like leaning and on the computer with one hand. And then I catch myself like, okay, it can't be because my whole body is like clawed over.
Everything is compromised now. There's like everything is, the flow is blocked. So try to, when you just inhale and let it go. And you just feel the difference. And remember, mind chatter. So when you start to breathe slower, I think I read someplace that it takes at least, I want to say like 15 or 20 minutes for your mind to realize like, oh, she's really serious about this relaxation thing. Oh, okay.
Right. She's not just doing a 2-minute thing or whatever. Right.
She's trying to wait a minute. She ain't trying to be on high alert? Oh, okay, let's get the memo. Okay, we're with you, girl, we're with you. So, you know, remember, if you start breathing, you're like, I don't really feel anything. Give your body time. Give yourself permission to be, and give yourself permission to say, you know what, I'm just going to walk away from the screen right now. I'm not going to post today. Maybe I'll just do it in the morning, but you know, my joints are not feeling up to date. Like, they don't feel good. Let me do that. And also, oils are great. I use a lot of essential oils. So I know sometimes in my class, if somebody has a headache, peppermint right away. Dab some peppermint right there on the pulse. Done deal. Done deal. You know, there are different things.
What other oils do you like? What other scents and oils do you like?
What
you got? Go into the bag.
We have a question in the queue. Do you want to get
Yes.
Yeah?
Let's get to the question, and then we'll get some other oil ideas. So, Erin, thank you for being here, Erin. Erin said, this is great. Thank you. Do you have any moves that help strengthen and loosen the lower back and hips?
I didn't hear. What was that?
Do you have any moves that help strengthen and loosen the lower back and hips?
Oh, sure. So is she on the mat or is she on a chair?
Erin, are you on the mat, Erin? I think she's in a chair probably.
Oh, no worries. Okay. So lower back, right?
Lower back and hips.
Okay.
So we can get up. Yeah, let's get up.
Okay. Let's see if we can move this out the way. All right. So can you see the chair?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So lower back here and hip, right? So what I would tell you is a couple things. Downward dog is your friend. So let me show you on the chair and on the mat, okay? So the chair is going to give you support. You're going to put one leg back, the other leg back, and come down as far as you can on the soles of your feet. And when you do that, you're going to take your arms and just try to pull you back into a stretch. And then as you pull back, not too much, you don't want to compromise anything, your feet may touch the mat. If they're up, it's okay. But the chair gives you support, so you can be like this. This stretches out your back. Let me show it to you on the mat, if you're on the mat. Still see me, right? So what I like to do, what I tell my class, we're here with our feet hip length apart. Inhale up, forward fold, touch the mat, bend your knee if you'd like. One leg back, here like this. And this is your downward dog where you look through your leg. You're stretching out your whole entire body. Forearms, legs, calves, everything. Then you can inhale, come into a plank, you're stretching everything out. Back into a downward dog, and you're stretching. Have your back legs meet your arms, come up like this. And you could come down to frog if you want. Open your thighs. If you want to stretch here, you're stretching out all of this, all your womanness, all your thigh. Come back up like this. Hang out here. Another good one to stretch out your, I think she said hips also.
Hips and back.
Back and hips, right?
Yep.
Okay, so tree pose. Take your legs, the soles of your feet, come on your opposing leg, the opposite leg. You could be here or you could be here, your tree. Stretch right here. Open it. Even if you do this or hang right here, it's still a stretch. Of course, this is more of a stretch. And then you could take your hands, bring them to heart center or to goddess right here, where you get a full stretch, chest stretch, arm stretch, back stretch, and also thigh stretch, hip stretch, every stretch. Or you can do this, hip length apart, just right here. Inhale, come into chair. This is your chair pose, just like this. You're stretching out, back again, all of this. This is your chair, and then from your chair, you can turn for a stretch, look over your shoulder. You can have your arm out right here. Wrap it around, nice stretch. Come back here, chair. Right here, look over. Tightness here, just move. Just move it. Move back, move front, back, front. Open up. You could also do a warrior position. This is our warrior one, right here. So come back a little bit. I always say, save some for yourself. One of my teachers would always say, don't come here, Karen. Save a little bit for yourself so you're in alignment. Right here. And then you could come back on that leg. Come here into a triangle. Look up. You're stretching.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was awesome. I was trying to be quiet. So Erin, did you get, she said actually, Karen, she was on her mat. So excellent that she, let me see. Erin, I think I put you on here.
Oh, yes, she's coming. Could we let her on?
Can you talk now? Let me see. You know, I'm trying to figure this out.
Hey, we hear you. What's up?
Thank you so much. That's great. I'm here doing the moves with my son. Who,
nice. I love that.
I don't know how to bring you on camera, Erin.
Oh, let's see. If you see,
the panelist.
Yeah, ask to start video, you could put her on that way.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, there she is. Now, where there's the three little dots, the ellipsis, just click to put her on video if you can. Hey!
Hey! Oh, good. I'm so glad Karen knows how to use it.
I do so many Zumba, so many yoga Zoom
classes.
How are you?
Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, her microphone is off.
My son is hiding.
Oh, it's
He's hiding.
Was it helpful?
It was. Thank you. I broke a little sweat.
Oh, good. Listen, I sweat all the time at this age, so I get it.
But it was okay. He set up a camera for us. Not that we're going to be on camera and hijacking, but he set it so we can be in front of the mat. So
nice.
Are you going to sit there?
I love it. And like
show us what you learned, Erin.
Connection, like, with your son, palm to palm touch as you do these things, eye to eye contact. It makes such a big difference with them, and have them give you cues on the mat.
Awesome.
Erin, are you setting up?
We can actually.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Uh-oh, Erin, your video went out.
My power is.
Oh, there it is. Hi. Nice. Okay. So love it. So stand erect, stand tall, inhale, stand tall, relax your shoulder, and look each other in the eye, and let him know, your son know, that he is a prince. Tell him he's a prince.
You're a prince.
And tell your mom she's a queen.
You're a queen.
And now, with that hand to hand and the eye to eye, look at one another and just take a nice inhale here. And as you inhale, lift your hands up. So inhale, lift up, excellent. And then exhale, bring them down. Release, come down. And then this time, release the hands. Just release, let them go. And look at each other now and feel the energy. Are you stronger together, holding hands palm to palm, eye to eye? Or are you stronger separately?
Together.
Which one?
They said together.
Together, absolutely, yes. Woo! Do that. Connect with them every time you get a chance. And this way you feel it and breathe. Thank you for being our models. I love that.
Thank you. Did you do your moves, Erin? Did you do your tree pose?
I tried. Look, we did a good stretch.
Okay, so Erin, not so high. Go a little lower. Go bring your feet lower. Go by your ankle. Okay? Find one place to focus in your place, where in your house, on the wall, one place to focus. Once you feel sturdy and focused, now you can move your hands. So inhale and bring your hands first to your heart center. That's your strength right there. Now inhale and see if you could lift it up a little bit more as you focus and breathe. Now, can you open it up a little bit? Open it up to goddess. Palms are facing one another. Yes. Feel yourself, feel your chest open. Inhale and open. And just relax your neck and your chin. You got it. You got it. And breathe.
You got it.
Thank you. How do you
Very
feel?
Good.
Yoga will make you a great workout. Let me tell you, it will make you work on muscles that you didn't think that are dormant. Because people just think yoga is like, it's so much more than that.
Wonderful, Erin. I'll drink to you and your yoga.
Yes, thank you so much. You and your son.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for being brave.
Yes, being brave. That's awesome. Thank you, Erin.
You have 3 more. You want to take them before we go?
Have more questions? Let's see.
Yeah.
Do we have any other? No, that was Erin saying she can't see how to get on camera. She's on her Mac.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? I do have one, Karen, while we wait. Sometimes people think, I've heard people say, and I've actually said this too, that there's, they don't feel like they're doing things like meditation the quote unquote right way, or they're doing it the wrong way. What do you tell us? What do you have to share with us about that? Is there a right and wrong way, or is it more about how we feel when we do it?
Oh, that's such another great question. There is not a right or wrong way to meditate. Is there a right or wrong way to breathe? You just breathe instantly, right? That's something that you do without thinking about it. I think the most important thing for meditation is find a quiet space, a safe space, your space. You can light candles. You could use an essential oil. You could have the room, dimly lit or light on, light off. You could be on your mat. You could be sitting in your bed. The whole thing about meditation is breathing, feeling comfortable, and just allowing your mind to relax and allowing yourself to be and check in with yourself. So there is no right or wrong way. And sometimes when you start out, if you have a mantra, it helps a lot. And so I normally start out with, what do I start out with? I was, fill in the blank. I will, fill in the blank. And I am. And that allows me to just get to a place of being calm. Sometimes I'll set an intention for the day after I meditate, and my intention will be, I just want to be joyful today. I want to be present today. I want to be in the moment today. Simple words that just get me going. Sometimes it's a scripture, whatever it is, there is no right or wrong way. There's no script. Your script is what feels loving to you. Loving for you. And you can meditate taking a shower, like sometimes I've done that. You take a shower and you're just saying kind words to yourself, or you're just like, right now, this is my moment. Nobody better not call me.
Right, nobody better not call me. Exactly. And that's so, I love that you said that, because I, have said that I have walking meditations when I go for a long walk, or you're in nature, or if you are listening to something, I listen to a recording of myself, a vision recording that I call it, and it feels like meditation. But then, like I said, sometimes you either think, or you might hear that, no, meditation is only sitting still, quiet by yourself, but it really is. And I think now too, people really need to know that it is whatever you need it to be in the moment.
It is. And let's talk about some oils, because I love oils.
Yes.
Okay. So my favorite oil is the doTERRA brand, DOTERRA. And the reason is it's the highest therapeutic grade oil. So when you put it on, it lasts and lingers for a long time. And you notice some essential oils, when you put them on, they disappear like a nanosecond. But for healing, I tell my students, and I tell myself, and in my household, the first oil that I put in my water in the morning would be 2. I use a lemon drop. You could use an actual lemon, it doesn't matter. But the oil that you have to have is oregano. You can get that at the vitamin shop. It doesn't have to be doTERRA, but drop oregano every morning in your water or tea. What it does, it bolsters your immune system. So it's going to boost your immune, especially with everything going around. You want to make sure that your immune system is not compromised. Also, it lowers if you have blood pressure and all those other kind of things. It's just a drop. It's very concentrated. It's very strong. So don't put it on your tongue. You will get burned. Just a drop in your water. Another oil
and
that
just plain cold, like normal water, not boiled water or anything.
No, just
like tea.
My drinking water.
Bottled water. Okay.
Oregano oil. I love lemon. Before I go to bed at night, I use a serenity oil, and it's basically a restful blend. So it has chamomile in it. It has lavender, which is great. It has like woodsy oil that calms the body. So if you have insomnia, or maybe it takes you a long time to just unwind when you're in the bed, just to relax, I suggest even if you don't have serenity, you could use lavender or jasmine, not peppermint, because peppermint is going to invigorate you. But I definitely think lavender is great, or eucalyptus, or if you have Vicks at home, remember Vicks?
Yes.
Pure all. So you take the
people have had a lot of trouble sleeping right now, so I'm glad you mentioned that. And actually, I know Erin has talked about having sleep problems.
So you want some Vicks if you have that close by tonight, or lavender oil, but get a really, really good lavender oil. Take the oil, and all you want to do is put it on your hand, right, on your fingertips, not too much, and rub it on the soles of your feet, from the sole and also each individual toe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like your pressure points here and all that.
Because if you think about it, the soles of your feet connects to your body. So all your major arteries and everything is connected in your feet, right? It correlates. So if you put it on the soles of your feet, it's going through your whole entire body.
What?
Yes.
I did not know that, yes. Karen tells us. That's a good one.
Put some socks on just to get everything warm. And when you feel like it's time to take off the sock and just watch your body just start to melt as you just meditate and just go.
Is that why foot massages feel so good?
Yes, yes. Because it's correlating with every pressure point in your body.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Did everybody else know that? Am I the only one who didn't know that?
I didn't know that until I took yoga class, so don't feel bad.
Oh my God.
I remember when I would see people with bags of oil. I'm like, that's so cliche and corny. And guess what? I'm cliche and corny now.
I see you got your whole bag there. I was going to say, so where do you buy most of your oils from? We got to get some Karen Taylor bath oils, but where do you buy most of your oils from?
I am a wholesaler. I use doTERRA though. Do your research, Google. I want you, and then definitely, Elayne, you have my information to put it out there, but doTERRA, you could do your research, finest grade therapeutic oil, and also it's fair trade.
Okay. How do you spell it? Show us the bottle again. Or we should contact you. Should people contact you for that?
Sure. And I can send a link. But if you need to sleep right away and you have some Vicks at home, put some Vicks on. If you have eucalyptus oil, put that on also. You could do Vicks or eucalyptus, and get the oregano. Don't wait for doTERRA. It takes a minute for shipment. You could just go to vitamin shop. You want to get a really good grade. Oregano oil can vary from $5 to $50. So that's how I'm telling you, like, you want to make sure it's the good stuff because it's so good for the body. Oregano, and there's another oil that I use. It's called On Guard, and it's exactly what it says. It's on guard. So when I'm in the city for work and I'm commuting, it just protects me. For everybody else that I don't know what they have, they may cough on, it's On Guard. And so, most essential oils are herbs. They come from herbs. And if you know anything about herbs, they're weeds. So like your dandelion oil, your mint, these are all weeds that people just discard, but they're good for the body. Now, everything within moderation. And if you have a condition, an illness, please consult your doctor. Eucalyptus, I know anybody could use that. Vicks, you could put that on the bottom of your feet. But if it's something, I don't want you to ingest it, every day. The oregano is, like I said, a drop in your water or your tea, but make sure that if you're going to use an oil, discernment, please. And make sure that you're okay to use it. If you're on medication, make sure, just do your due diligence, because it's not a one size fit all for everyone. But I will tell you that just a little bit of peppermint on the forehead for a headache or the pulse, within like 5 minutes, it's gone.
I have to try that because I swear just a few days ago I had a headache and I get migraines usually and I had one, but it wasn't as bad as they are sometimes, but it lasts for a couple days.
Peppermint.
So
Peppermint is
peppermint.
great. It's, yeah, I mean, just think about it has the menthol, right? So all of that is just
Mhm.
like with the eucalyptus. It's so great. And it's one of the purest oils that you can use out there is peppermint. But, you know, not every oil is made equally. So you want to make sure that it is a fine, high grade of an oil that you're using.
Excellent. I think, like you said, too, for everyone listening, make sure you check with your doctor, especially if you have
Absolutely.
medications or people have allergies. You know, everybody's different,
Absolutely.
but this
Yeah.
is great. And so I'm about to do some essential oil shopping from you. Excellent.
Yeah. And the
So
last thing I'll say is just for meditation and just getting yourself in this reset. If you have Epsom salt, you know, like one with like an essential like lavender or whatever, but just even just Epsom salt. When you take your bath, right? One of the things I realized that I had to do is my bath is my sanctuary. So when you take your bath, have your candles. Take that time for you. Have a little bit of Epsom salt. If you don't have time to soak in a tub, you know, put some in a container, you know, a little bowl or whatever. Take your shower, and then at the end, fill that up. Use the Epsom salt as a body scrub, or use it, add it with and just put it on you, and just watch your body just melt. And the more you train your body just to relax, I know suffering from anxiety after I had my daughter, one of the things I'm so grateful for is that you have to trick your brain, because if you don't trick your brain, it just starts to mind chatter. So things that calm me down, my triggers, I know when they're coming, I know what they are. And if I'm able to breathe through them, if I'm able to just take a bath, set my intention, of course, it's a practice. It's like everything else. I've learned that muscle, but setting the tone for your day in the morning, everyone, if you can just try a quick shower with some Epsom salt in the morning and just come out and take that 5 minutes to set your intention for the day, you will see that you start to respond differently, sit differently, talk differently, and just be really loving to yourself. And I think that's what wellness is. That's what meditation is. And then you know, add a little bit of yoga, you'll see your body just start to change. And the things that we go through, our PTSD, our trauma, you know, we can't minimize it, but we're able to treat it little by little. That's all.
beautiful, Karen. I could not have asked for a better way to wrap this up. I think that was perfect. You are amazing.
Thank you for the
Everyone,
opportunity.
absolutely, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. We're going to have the replay up for sure on winddownconversations.com. Karen, before you go, tell everyone how they can find out more about you and your yoga, and if they want to do some of your virtual yoga classes, which I got to look into too.
Yes.
I didn't know you were doing those, but tell everyone how to get in touch with you.
So you can find me on social at Karen Taylor Bass, and we do this amazing Soulful Yoga wind down group party. And so it's a minimum of 4, 1 hour. We get groups together, they're on the mat, and they curate a playlist that we play for the yoga. They may have their wine. We start by doing a virtual check-in where everybody is, and it becomes a party, it becomes laughter, it becomes crying, it becomes sharing. And at the end of the day, they keep on coming back with more people, more circle, because the gift of life, of breathing, and that is all it's about. So if you ever want to do a virtual soulful yoga party, we check in to see what level. Are you beginner, are you intermediate, are you advanced, and we cater to you, and you get to pick the songs that you want to hear, and it's just so much fun.
Beautiful. So people can just follow you at Karen Taylor Bass, and they'll find out more about
and
that.
reach out to me and I'll send you information. If it's oils, if it's this, whatever, you know, we are in this game to share. And if I could just say one more thing, please, if you haven't filled out your census, please fill out your census at census.gov. If you haven't, if you're going to vote or do your absentee ballot or whatever, I know in New York we can do that. Please do it. You know, we have the opportunity as environment resets. We have to reset our community. So we have to have an active part in that. And that's part of being mindful, is knowing that we are preparing the future generation to have the earth they deserve, and for the lawmakers and legislators that they deserve, that we can do something now. So that's the best way, I think, to honor Elayne and I and yourself, is to leave a legacy for our children by being active and advocating for them. So namaste with that.
Namaste. Karen, thank you so much. You know I love you.
I love you more.
Fantastic, fantastic.
So,
I'm gonna call you after this. So cheers,
yes to
everyone.
everyone
Cheers,
for
guys.
hanging on.
Hanging on.
What are you
being
drinking?
healthy, my quarantine. This is some kind of, it's like candy basically. Some wine I found. I have to get some
or
proper
something?
wine delivered. It's like a Riesling kind of.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Peace out.
What are you drinking? A red wine.
Red. I love red. It's a Malbec.
Yeah, a Malbec, of course.
Oh,
Cheers.
it's the old lady's wine. Take care.
I love it.
So
All right, I'll talk to you.
call me.
All right, I'm going to call you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care, guys.